North Korea's sudden involvement in Russia's war against Ukraine has shaken the global stage. Could this be the spark that leads to World War III? The war that began in February 2022 with Russia's invasion of Ukraine has taken numerous unexpected twists. However, none has been as alarming as the growing involvement of North Korea. What was once viewed as a regional conflict is evolving into a global power struggle, and fears of a Third World War are intensifying. From supplying military equipment to forming alliances, North Korea's deepening role in the conflict is sending shockwaves through the international community. Let's dive into the key developments and what they could mean for global security. At the start of the war, Ukraine garnered global sympathy and support. Foreign volunteers streamed in, forming international battalions alongside the Ukrainian forces, while exiled Russians opposed to President Vladimir Putin took up arms against their own homeland. In contrast, Russia, too, began employing foreign mercenaries from places like Serbia, Bosnia, and even Nepal, with motivations ranging from money to promises of stability. But now, entire nations that once seemed unlikely to be directly involved are being pulled into the conflict. One of the most shocking developments has been North Korea's increasing support for Russia. Initially, North Korea's role was limited to sending workers to Russian-occupied territories in eastern Ukraine, including Donetsk and Luhansk. These workers, officially said to be there to aid in reconstruction efforts, raised concerns among analysts who suspected that this was only the beginning, and they were right. By mid-2024, North Korea's support to Russia had escalated from mere labor to critical military aid. A growing military alliance, Russia and North Korea have had a relationship going back decades, particularly during the Cold War. However, this partnership has grown significantly stronger. In 2024, Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un signed a comprehensive security agreement, marking a pivotal moment in their alliance. This pact, which mirrors NATO's Article 5, obligates both countries to come to each other's defense if either is attacked. This new agreement has sparked fears of further escalation. Military analysts now believe it opens the door for North Korea to send troops to Ukraine, potentially making it a formal participant in the conflict. Given recent developments, including Ukraine's invasion of Russia's Kursk region, this possibility seems more real than ever. Pyongyang has become a vital supplier of military equipment and ammunition for Moscow. With Russia facing severe depletion of its supplies due to the war's demands, North Korea has stepped in as a lifeline. Reports suggest that millions of artillery shells, rockets, and even short-range ballistic missiles have been sent from North Korea to Russia. These have already been deployed in combat, causing significant damage to Ukrainian forces. The Pulse 4 missile system, a game-changer? One of the most concerning developments has been the introduction of the North Korean Pulse 4 missile system. This highly advanced, self-propelled missile launcher is specifically designed to target NATO-supplied armored vehicles in Ukraine. With its precision-guided missiles, the Pulse 4 is capable of launching 8 missiles at a time, with a range of 10 to 15 kilometers. Its mobility allows it to navigate Ukraine's diverse battlefield terrain with ease. This missile system poses a significant threat to NATO's high-tech tanks and armored vehicles, which have so far played a crucial role in Ukraine's defense. The Pulse 4's precision and power could give Russia a substantial edge in its military campaign. Recent satellite imagery and intelligence reports confirm that these systems have been deployed in Russia's Kursk region, close to the Ukrainian border. For months there were rumors about North Korea's military involvement, but now these images and reports have provided solid evidence of Pyongyang's deeper participation. The presence of these advanced weapons has prompted serious concern within NATO, as they may drastically shift the balance of power on the battlefield. Strategic collaboration, North Korea, and Russia's deadly alliance. The Pulse 4 system is the product of an intense collaboration between North Korea and Russia. By studying captured NATO equipment during the early stages of the war, Russian engineers identified weaknesses that North Korean engineers were able to exploit. The Pulse 4's design specifically targets vulnerabilities in NATO tanks, making it a formidable weapon. This cooperation marks a new level of military and technological exchange between the two countries, further cementing their alliance. North Korea's involvement is no longer behind the scenes, it is now a critical factor in Russia's war effort. The global consequences, a new arms race? The deployment of North Korean weapons in Ukraine doesn't just have implications for the battlefield, it raises the specter of a new global arms race. If the Pulse 4 proves as effective as feared, NATO and its allies may be forced to accelerate the development of new countermeasures. This could lead to heightened military tensions across the world. Moreover, North Korea's involvement could trigger further destabilization in the already volatile geopolitical landscape. China, a close ally of both Russia and North Korea, has remained on the sidelines of the conflict so far, but the more involved North Korea becomes, the higher the chances of China getting drawn into the fray. If that happens, the United States might feel compelled to respond, potentially bringing us closer to a global confrontation. Can World War III be avoided? For now, the United States and its allies are walking a fine line. They have been cautious not to involve their own troops directly in the conflict, focusing instead on providing military aid to Ukraine. However, recent developments suggest that this cautious approach may soon come under strain. Some U.S. soldiers have already volunteered to fight in Ukraine, but the deployment of official military units could mark a dangerous turning point. Russian President Putin has warned that any direct U.S. involvement could lead to what he ominously calls the ultimate showdown, a phrase that has fueled fears of a broader global conflict. Diplomatic efforts to prevent further escalation have not been successful. In June 2024, a peace summit backed by Ukraine called for Russia to withdraw its forces. However, Putin quickly dismissed these efforts, making demands that were unacceptable to Ukraine and its allies. Among these demands was Ukraine's abandonment of its plans to join NATO, as well as a full retreat from territories currently occupied by Russian forces. Meanwhile, Ukraine continues to face enormous challenges on the battlefield. Despite international support, Ukraine's forces remain outnumbered and outgunned. They rely heavily on the military aid flowing in from Western countries, but with North Korea now stepping in to support Russia, the war seems far from over. Conclusion. What's next? As North Korea becomes more deeply entrenched in the conflict, the risks for global security only grow. Could this be the flashpoint that ignites World War III? The international community is watching closely, and the stakes have never been higher. What do you think? Can diplomatic solutions still prevent a global conflict, or are we already past the point of no return? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this developing story.